All right, for this next problem, we're going to go and do a net capacity problem. Flip the jib over the side. So first thing we do whenever we are doing our load charts is, what is the question asking? Let's go ahead and dissect it. So if we come over here, we get all our deductions first. Question asking, what is the net capacity lifting off the fly over the side? Well, we know over the side isn't going to matter because anytime we're lifting off the fly, it's a 360 chart. We don't have an over the rear, we don't have an over the front, it's only over the side. So we're going to go ahead, we'll do our setup. What is it asking? Net capacity. Net capacity lifting from the fly. Put this in our little box over here. Alright, so now next thing we do, we draw our little diagram here. That's here, that's here, here. Line pull 12,920, just like on everyone. And we write our gross little equation. And over here, we're going to write our deductions. Line, a little straight line down here, down to the bottom, total. So I think we've got everything laid out how we need to. So what the first thing it's asking is, what boom mode are we in? We are main boom. We don't have to worry about our outriggers. We don't need to worry about our counterweight because it's always going to be the same on every single load chart. Those two things never change. But our boom length, our main boom angle, and our radius will. So it's asking for what boom mode we're in. We're in boom mode B, and we have 80 foot of main boom, and we have 43 degree boom angle. We can just write NA for our radius because we don't have a radius. Now, next piece of information it's asking for is boom radius. We don't have to worry about that. Lifting beam. We got our lifting beam. So let's go over here. How much is our lifting beam? So beam weighs 627 pounds. Remember, we're using the net capacity lifting off the fly over the side. We automatically know that we're lifting off the fly. And the rule when we're lifting off the fly, when we're lifting off the jib, it's not a deduction. We're not adding that to our hanging weight because we're using it. Conversely, we're using a jib load chart, and the jib load chart already deducts the jib's weight or the fly's weight. So we've got an extension. Our extension is 56 foot, and I just like to draw it here and then put a big fat 0 here. Our angle is 1 degree. Another 0. This just helps us to know, or writing it down to know that we're using it. We put zeros right there because we know our unit is in. Also, down here in our fly, another thing I like to do is write down here, we have our extension. Our fly is the 56 foot at 1 degree off set. Just another place to put it so that it helps us to remember, hey, when we go to look at our load charts, hey, we're picking from the jib. Lift and beam, we've got our offset fly, we've done that, check that off. We've got our angle, check that off. Block, there's nothing there, so we're just going to check that off. We're picking from the fly, and we don't have a block. So another thing that we can come down here and do, we know we don't have a main line. Put a big fat 0. Aux line, sorry, I'm a little shaky. aux line, 0, because we're lifting from it. It's not excess line. Anytime we have only one part of line that we're lifting from, we don't deduct it because we need it to make that lift. So there's no excess reeving or excess line deduction. We have a ball. Our ball is the 8.5 ton. So let's come over here and look and see what that ball weighs. We're going to come scroll down here to our deduction weights. So our ball, hook ball for actual weight, that's going to be 360. That's going to be hook ball, actual weight, 360 pounds. So we're going to come here, 360 pounds. So check that one off, we're done. And our last deduction is rigging. And our rigging is 680 pounds. So just check that off, check that off. And now we're done. We're ready to go ahead and go to our range diagram. Not our range diagram, but our load chart. Now, the only time we use a range diagram is when we are lifting off of our main boom. That is the only time. Anytime you're using a jib, you can just bypass your range diagram, because right over here, we're going to put our tip height. So tip, this is where I would write tip height. I'm just going to put a big X right there. We don't have to worry about our tip height. We don't have to worry about tip height because it's one single part of line. We're using it to make a pick, and we don't have any line deductions. So we're just going to skim on past this. But however, we are going to look at our boom mode. Our boom mode is B, 80 foot at a 43 degree radius. Now, we don't have a boom mode B at 80 foot. It's boom mode B 85 foot or greater. So since we are between 65 and 85, we're going to use the 85 foot main boom. So look up here. So boom mode B, we're going to scroll all the way down to our offset. We are using the 56 foot offset with 85 foot of main boom. So this is where we're working. We got the 56 foot offset, so that matches up with our 56 foot offset on our load chart question, and we have 85 foot of main boom. So when we're using the load chart, if you have anything less than 85 foot of main boom, you're going to use the 85 foot of main boom for your jib extent, for for working with a jib chart, because we only have options for 85 foot and 110 foot. Now, if we were at, say, 110 foot of main boom or 105 foot of main boom with the 56 foot jib offset, then we would use the 110 foot boom selection with the 56 foot offset. But since we have less than 85, we're going to use the boom angle based off of the 85 foot of main boom with the 56 foot offset. So we're going to come down here. We had 80 foot of main boom with the 43 degree boom angle. So let's zoom in here with a 1 degree offset. So this is our load chart we're going to be working in, the 1 degree offset with the 80 foot of main boom, or 85 foot of main boom. That's designated right there, 56 foot fly. So 1 degree offset at a 43 degree boom angle. So we're going to come down 43, and we do have an option for 43. That's going to give us 4,400 pounds. So that's going to be our gross capacity. That's the maximum capacity that our crane can lift at any given boom length and angle where the two converts. So we have a 1 degree offset, 56 foot offset fly, 85 foot of main boom with a 43 degree loaded boom angle, 43 degree main boom angle. So we're going to go with 4,400 pounds as our gross. Let's zoom in here. Gross 4,400 pounds. Great. Now let's add up all of our deductions. And our deduction weights are going to be 627. So 627 plus for our beam, our lifting beam, plus 360 for our ball, plus 680 for our rigging, and that's going to be 1,000. I like to write that here as well, just in case. 1,667 pounds. Now we're going to put it up here in our gross, 1,667 pounds. Now we're going to subtract. We're going to take 4,400 pounds, subtract 1,667, and that's going to equal 2,733, which consequently is our answer. Answer B, 2,733 pounds.